This is Simplified Mathematics. Today we will be looking at percent word problems. In the previous video on the topic of percent, we already talked about the basic meaning of this word. Percent pretty much means divided by 100. And we can use this basic meaning of percent to solve certain word problems. First, let's take a look at what we call plain word problems. In order to solve this type of word problems, usually we translate the given question word by word. Let's take a look at some examples. For this one, what is 25% of 40? Let's try using the basic meaning of percent and translate this question word by word. Alright, what mean question mark? Is means equal. 25% means 25 divided by 100. Of means multiply. And 40 means 40. And the question mark is what they're looking for. We can simplify this. This will give us 1 and this will give us 4. So 40 divided by 4 is 10. And that is the answer. 10 is 25% of 40. Let's try the next one. What percent of 500 is 45? Let's try using the same approach for this one. What mean question mark? Percent means divided by 100. Of mean multiply. 500 means 500. Is means equal. 45 means 45. And the question mark is what they're looking for, which gonna be equal to 45 times 100 divided by 500. We can simplify this by crossing out the zeros. So we be left with 45 divided by 5, which is 9. And this is the answer. 9% of 500 is 45. Let's try a couple more. For this one, 15% of what is 12? Again, let's try the same approach. 15% means 15 divided by 100. Of means multiply. What is question mark? Is means equal. 12 means 12. So they're looking for the question mark, which is gonna be equal to 12 times 100 divided by 15. We can simplify this. This gonna give us 4. This gonna give us 5. And then this gonna give us 20. So 4 times 20 is 80. And this is the answer. 15% of 80 is 12. How about 75 is 25% of what number? Alright, 75 means 75 is mean equal. 25% means 25 divided by 100. Of means multiply. And what number is question mark? So they're looking for the question mark. And it's going to be equal to 75 times 100 divided by 25. We can simplify this. This is going to give us 3. And this is going to give us 1. And 3 times 100 is 300. And that is the answer. 75 is 25% of 300. Now we're going to be looking at another type of word problems. This might be slightly more complicated. Well, let's take a look. We can call this type of question story word problems. Let me give you an example. So this is how it looks like. It's not as straightforward anymore. Now it involves certain story in the question, and the word-by-word approach may not work that well for this type of question. So let's try another approach that might help us with this type of question. When we come across story word problems, it might be useful to use this formula instead. Part over whole equal to percent over 100. Let's try using this formula to solve the problem that we just saw earlier. For this one, a company has 75 staff members. On Monday after the long weekend, 6 people miss work. What percent miss work that day? We have to try to relate this question to the formula above. In the formula, there are 3 major components: part, whole, and percent. And usually in the first step, I focus on percent. In the question below, the percent part is what percent miss work. They're focusing on the people who miss work. So, part from the formula should be talking about the number of people who miss work. And we can find here 6 people miss work. And whole from the formula is 25 staff members from the whole company. We now pretty much have everything. We can try the formula. From the formula, part per whole equal to percent over 100. And part is 6, whole is 75, equal to percent is what they're looking for, over 100. So percent's gonna be equal to 100 times 6 over 75. We can simplify this. This gonna give us 4, and this gonna give us 3. So 6 times 4 divided by 3, that's gonna give us 8. And that is the answer. 8% missed work that day. Now we're gonna try modify this question a little bit. Everything is the same, but this time they ask what percent show up to work that day. Again, the first step, I will be looking for percent. And it's right there. What percent show up to work that day? So, part from the formula should reflect the number of people who show up to work. And we can get it from right there. Part will be equal to 75 minus 6. And that will give us 69 people who show up that day. And whole is 75 staff members from the whole company. Now we can try using the formula part over whole equal to percent over 100. Part is 69. Whole is 75. Equal to percent is what they're looking for, over 100. So percent's gonna be equal to 100 times 69 over 75. We can simplify this. This gonna give us 3, and this gonna give us 4, and this gonna give us 23. So 4 times 23 gonna be 92. And that is the answer. 92% show up to work that day. For this question, a rich body lotion contains 15% shea butter. How much lotion can be made from 3 pounds of shea butter? For the first step, I look for percent, and that is 15% of shea butter. So part from the formula should be about shea butter, and that's why it is 3 pounds of shea butter. And whole will be the lotion, how much lotion can be made, and that's what they're looking for. Now that we have everything, let's try plug in the formula. Part over whole equal to percent over 100. and part is 3 shea butter. Whole is what they're looking for, equal to 15% of the shea butter over 100, and whole is gonna be equal to 3 times 100 divided by 15. We can simplify this. This gonna be 5 and this gonna be 20. So we'll be left with 20. And that is the answer. 20 pounds of lotion can be made from the 3 pounds of shea butter. Let's try taking a look at another question. For this one, a student needs to score at least 95% on the final exam to get a B. The final test consists of 60 problems and each is equally weighed. At least how many questions that he need to answer correctly? First step, I'll be looking for percent, and it is the 95% that he needs to get it right. So, part from the formula should reflect the number of the right answers that he needs, and it's right there. How many questions does he need to answer correctly? And the whole from the formula is 60 problems from the whole test. Now that we have everything, let's try the formula. Part over whole equal to percent over 100. And we will get part, which is what they're looking for. Whole is 60 problems. Percent is 95 over 100. So part will be equal to 95 over 100 times 60. We can simplify this, cross out the 0 first, and this should give us 2, when this gonna give us 19, and then 6 divided by 2 gonna be 3. So we have left with 19 times 3, and that's gonna be 57. And that is the answer. So he need to answer 57 questions correctly in order to get a B grade. Alright, let's try to summarize what we learned today. First, we talk about plain word problems. We can solve the plain word problems by adopting the meaning of percent, which is divided by 100, and translate the given question word by word. We then look at story word problem. It is helpful to use the formula. Try practice more. You will be more familiar with this type of question and will be faster in dealing with the word problems.